Hello and welcome to this episode of Pony Racing, the 9th episode. The concept today is, as usual, as we have our 4 participants who will be racing to be the first one to solve a Pwnable challenge, while my co-commentator Bob and I provide some commentary and analysis of what they're doing. So let's introduce our participants. Bob, would you help us out?
Yeah, sure. Well, top left we have niklasb, Pwny, Kit CTF, Eat, Sleep, On, Repeat. Obviously, everyone knows him. Then we have Jazzy on the top right. He's one of those guys from the Perfect Blue team, who was an academic team, but it's now like a pretty legit team, I would say. Then mightymo, who I might be wrong, but I think plays for Shellfish and Eat, Sleep, On, Repeat. And then there's Triple Z, who is from What the Fuck Hacks. Oh no, wait, sorry, whatever.
Cool. So, hello everyone, all participants. And yeah, you have all been provided with the challenge, right? And I will also post it as usual in the chat. Oh, is he not part of whatever? Apparently, he's part of a Swedish up and coming scene, basically. So, are all the participants ready?
Yeah.
Yep. Great. So we'll just Bob and I will move to the other channel, so we're not providing any spoilers for you, and then we'll do a countdown, and you can start.
Channel switched. User was moved to your channel.
Okay, so let's start in 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck, everyone. Okay, Bob, what are we dealing with here today?
It's a simple 32-bit application that will open any file on the system that they have permission to, and read one line out of it. So it's got all the protections on except no canaries, so obviously that should let you know that it's a stack-based buffer overflow. And the problem is that they won't be able to open dev/standardin or procfd0 without doing a little bit of trickery.
Great. So let's get back to those trickeries in a moment. So let's start by doing our usual round and check what the different players are starting out with. So first off, we have niklasb opening up the program in IDA to do some initial reversing. You can see here the code on screen. Pretty simple. I mean, the fairly short code. And as we usually do in these challenges, it's not a reverse engineering challenge typically. Moving on, checking in with jazzy, also using IDA Pro for some initial reverse engineering of the challenge. And it's a little bit of a small font, a little bit hard to make out exactly what he's doing, but it looks like he's just looking at the challenge. Oh, yeah. And let's see. Here we have mightymo then, who is just checking what different files have been provided. And is this stream still running? We'll have to check that out. But anyway, we also have CCC, who started out with some initial exploit writing, we've talked about this on multiple occasions about starting the automation process quickly. Oh,
Yeah.
he's using Ghidra,
Ghidra.
and I have completely wrong size on his stream output, so I'm sorting that. There, looks much better. So, perfect. I also realized I might have provided them with the wrong libc, so that's something we'll have to sort out as we go. So
Yeah, we had a few teething issues getting this one up. We found some bugs and some weirdness. So, as long as they get to play it, that's good for me.
yeah. To all the participants, I think I provided you with the incorrect libc version, so I will give you an updated one as soon as possible. But that shouldn't really be an issue initially. Yeah. So we can let's comment a little bit on that. By the way, so for people who are not very familiar with Pwnables, typically, so I mean, we have provided them with the binary that is running on the server, and as it is a dynamically linked program, it will also be using the libc library. And to remove as many annoyances as possible, it's customary to provide the libc version that is running on the server with the challenge, because that might be different to what you are running locally, and that will mean that certain offsets, for example, can be different. And the reason you do this is because otherwise you could still just brute force that and still solve it, but that doesn't really add any kind of interesting aspect to the challenge. So it's better to just provide the libc from the start. Yeah, so if we look back here at Niklas, he is trying to he's found this. So there's this feature in the program where it tries to open the file, and it can either checks if that works, or if you get a permission error. And he has found one of the bugs in the program here as well, as you can see. Because Bob, maybe you can explain this part with basically the memory leak here.
Yeah, I just need to say I 100% cooked this challenge. Like, this is completely not realistic, and he's just latching onto all these stupid things that I've been doing, and each one of them's a hint. So obviously the goal is to read standard in so that they can read as much data as they want into the thing, and the buffer is set to -1 length. But the thing is that they need to terminate that line somehow rather than just getting EOF. So there's two characters that can terminate here, which is a new line and a return. But if it's a new line, it will put a null byte there, and if it's a return, it won't. So that is the info leak, 100%. And because it's a pi binary and you have to get the libc offset, that's useful. I think the other thing that's worth speaking about is that there is a logic error. So when you open dev standard in, it will say, no, you can't do that. But the thing is if you open a file that doesn't exist afterwards, the file never got closed. So that file pointer still exists on the stack, and so they can use an uninitialized variable vulnerability and open dev standard in.
Yes, so if we check with the other participants again, you can see that, for example, CCC here is still like looking at the code, trying to figure out what's going on, using Ghidra as opposed to IDA, which the other participants seem to be using. And yeah, we started to see more of a mix when it comes to the tools in these episodes.
Yeah, for sure.
And now it looks like mightymo stream is working again, and yeah, he started writing some initial exploit script, just some basically boilerplate code to interact with the challenge and to start trying things out. Using the GDB interaction module in Pwn tools to start the process and start GDB and attach GDB to the process directly from the Pwn tools script. So that way you can automate even more aspects of your exploit development. As well as, for example, you can set breakpoints directly from your exploit code.
Yeah, really useful. And you can also do relative breakpoints for those pi binaries, so it's really a time saver.
Yeah. One moment, I'm just going to send this to the participants.
Channel switched.
There's an updated libc in the chat.
Channel switched.
So Aces is in the YouTube chat, and he
Yeah.
seems to, his money is on mightymo. So I think that might be the shellfish connection.
Oh yeah. Some bias there maybe.
Yeah, a little bit. Although, like, he's also, I guess he does know a lot of these dudes, so it might be accurate.
Yep. So
Do they have the libc?
yeah, I sent them the libc. Yeah, so I just got a question from Niklas about writing local files or something. So that was something I was gonna tell the participants. Yeah, so one additional thing is like as we had a bit of an issue with the setup, just pretend that this is a fully remote challenge and no like writing files to temp or anything like that, or changing environment variables or any of those kind of typical tricks you would have in a local challenge. Just pretend it's a remote challenge. So yeah, this is then another thing we could touch upon. I mean, typically when you do pwnables, you just get this like IP and port. So you connect to a socket which is connected to the standard input and output of the binary that you're interacting with. But then there are also what's called local challenges, where you get like an SSH login and you can actually interact with a little bit more of the server, like interact with the environment. For example, setting environment variables as you run the program, or writing files to /temp, or using like ulimit trickery and things like that.
Yeah, those ones are usually really fun because once you consider the full environment, some of these things get really tricky. So when I've got stuck in the past playing war games, it's usually that. Like, it's not the binary, it's something I'm not considering outside of the binary. So
yeah,
we should do some of those at some point.
Yeah, and that also kind of adds some like it requires a little bit of knowledge about like typically Linux or like Unix systems, so how they behave in certain contexts and so on.
Absolutely. So Jazzy just figured out how to get the overflow. I'm not sure if you saw that.
Oh yeah, so he
You
yeah
see there he's using dev standard in, and
yep
then he gets an error. Then he uses a non-existent file,
yep
and that's because the error checker from main will kick you through to the next loop if it sees an error. So it never closes that file descriptor. So he's basically figured out how to get the overflow, and if he gets the leaks or he brute forces from now, it's a slam dunk. And remember, it's a 32-bit binary, so that brute force is 12 bits, which is nothing.
yeah. That's interesting. Pretty fast progress. So
Also, who thought he would be the first one to get it, right? Because you see some of these massive names.
yeah.
We have seen this before.
Yeah, we had this
Sometimes
challenge
the
with
unknown.
was it with the Lord Idiot, right?
Lord Idiot, who's in the chat, yeah, that's right. And he just smashed everyone, and we just didn't see it coming, which was fantastic.
Yeah, that's really great, and yeah, because I think as we've seen in the chat, and so both mightymo and Niklas has been favorites. Here's a comment that Niklas is washed up, though. I mean, that's a bit harsh, but I've heard that he hasn't been playing as much, so.
I think when you like sort of step away from the CTF scene for 5 minutes, then like you focus on depth rather than speed and stuff like that. And plus, some of these pwnable challenges become repetitive, so maybe you just don't wanna
Yeah.
have a go at them.
Yeah, but if you look here at Niklas' exploit script, you can see that he is kind of like, looking at the same direction here. So, yeah, it's interesting to see where he will go with that. So definitely both Jazzy and Niklas has some progress that we see. Let's check with mightymo. Reading the man pages for file open, I guess. Checking what these different return codes mean.
Right. It's probably smart. Interesting that he's using WSL though, right?
Yeah, that's. I
Have
think
we seen that before?
Yeah, I don't know. I know that there are some people in the Swedish CTF community who are like a bit newer. They started doing that because they come from a Windows background, and then instead of doing like a full switch to Linux, they just use VSL instead. So.
Yeah.
On the topic, I saw some hilarious tweets from Ginvel, where he was fighting with the node in VSL, I think, and I think the node installer ended up like uninstalling his Python installation or something like that. He wasn't very happy about.
Getting aggressive.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. You can check out Ginvel's Twitter if you want to read that. But anyway, mightymo is he's looking here at the base address. So yeah, he's setting a breakpoint there. He's using Jeff. So again, not the. I mean, we've seen it before, but it's not the our standard Pwn debug setup. This is the basically the other one. So to say.
But definitely worth a look. Like we can't shit talk, Jeff.
Oh no! This is absolutely not. It's more of a lightweight thing. It's like it's all contained in like one Python file basically that you just load, instead of Pwn debug, which has like this whole package of stuff. So depends a little bit on your trade-off choices.
If you're going on embedded though, like Gef is pretty sweet.
That's what I've heard. So CCC still looking through the code. Haven't seen really any
All right,
X.
mate. I gotta be honest. I heard that he played for whatever,
Yeah.
and I like that team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The Swedish kids coming up. So, what team does he play for?
So this is he is part of this up and coming Swedish CTF community or something. So for context, basically there is no Swedish CTF community up until like 2 years ago. There was only hacking for Soju. That was it basically. But then recently there has been a little bit more activity. So we've seen some university teams and these whatever team, which is a high school team, that are really they're getting better really quick.
Yeah,
And
really quick.
yeah, so there's some Discord channels and stuff where people hang out, and so this guy is from one of those. So he's like part of this up and coming Swedish scene. Oh, it's part of the KTH team. Okay, that's cool.
Oh, so
Yeah.
now what university did you go to? I keep forgetting.
Oh, so I went to KTH, which is the Royal Technical Institute in Stockholm. So this is basically
Oh.
someone then from my school. So I mean, I need to be all in on this guy. I'm believing in him.
The
So
same school that you taught a CTF class at, right?
yeah, exactly, definitely. So yeah, I have expectations here.
Okay, okay. Well, if I was going to put money on it, I would have to go for Nicholas or mightymo, but now my heart's kind of going towards Jazzy. But so I'll just be impartial for now.
Yeah, yeah. So let's continue looking. Let's let's check back with Niklas, and so I'm not completely sure at the moment. So he's looks like he's like double checking a few offsets here on the stack. You can see that he's looking at those stack offsets, trying to figure out exactly where things end up, I guess.
Yep.
And,
I
really,
think he's going for the leak. That seems likely.
yeah.
Maybe. Can I ask you a question? Do you do this Ghidra layout now in IDA?
No,
Like where you
no,
have...
no, 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 no.
No, you don't do
No,
this, right?
no.
Okay.
I because in like 90+% of the cases for the stuff I'm doing, I look at the decompilation, and then when I really need to dig into, there are a few cases I really should have been doing that, because in a few cases I find myself like tabbing back and forth between the disassembly and decompilation, and that's where I should have set it up like this instead. But that's rare, very rare.
It is interesting to see how Ghidra is sort of, even the people that are diehard IDA people, they still like getting influence from Ghidra.
Yeah.
Either the layout or the undo, etc., etc.
Yeah. No, but this is what I think is really like it's important that there are multiple tools and ways of thinking, because that's how you get the real evolution.
Yeah,
Like,
competition, right?
Yeah, competition and like mixing of ideas and stuff. So while I'm still like using IDA as my primary tool, I think Ghidra is probably the single most important addition to the reverse engineering and exploitation scene in
20 years, mate.
well, I mean, I haven't been, in the game for that long, so I wouldn't know, but at least for like several years, it's probably
Right,
the most
yeah.
important addition.
I'm gonna say 40 years.
Oh,
I'm just going for it.
yeah. So let's check back with Jazzy here. So you see here, he's really setting up this structure. This looks really similar to basically the reference exploit, where you first try to open this standard in file, which will be not allowed, then open this non-existent file, and then there's some overflow here going on.
Yep. Yeah, he's straight on to the whole concept. I mean, this guy is definitely making moves. I just don't know why he's sort of slowed down. I guess maybe he's just trying to generalize the exploit a bit.
Yeah. And this is again something we've talked about previously. Like, at what, how much do you just go for like the ugliest thing that just works, and at what point do you kind of like stop yourself and like organize and clean up your mess before you go forward? So that's
Right, yeah. And I think it's because there's a little bit of repetition here that it might make a little bit of sense to generalize, but to be honest, it's not that much, so he could just go quick and dirty and just slam it out, I reckon.
yeah.
But but he's got good habits, so I'm not going to question that.
No, it's cool. So let's check in with mightymo again, who is a little bit difficult to read, but it looks like he's doing basically the same thing. First, he's trying to open proc self fd0, and then opening foobar. So it's the same setup.
Right.
They've
Taking
all,
advantage of that little logic bug and the uninitialized uh, area where the file pointer is. So they got all of that, but they still need leaks
yeah,
or brute force.
yeah.
I should have stuck a canary on. Now I'm feeling bad.
No, but I mean, like, I think it's this could have gone either way, and even if this ends up being like a slightly shorter episode, I don't think anyone will be like devastated by that. I think it's good to mix it up a little bit. Also, might be not as scary for people to join in the future as well.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
We had
Episode 2 might have really like burned some participants potentially.
oh yeah, yeah. We had there was some last minute efforts to get a full lineup, but big props to all of our participants for joining in. I think it's I mean, this is all about it's about the education, it's about the fun. It's not of course you want to win, but it's not like you're a bad hacker if you don't.
Oh yeah, we've had some amazing guys that didn't win. So I think that's I think everyone knows that like niklasb and Jazzy, mightymo, these guys are like all amazing.
Yeah.
And I didn't forget about ZZZ, but I just don't know him yet.
No. No, I mean, we have had both extremely well established people and like new people.
And the new people are like, surprising, right? Because they pick up things quickly because the CTF community has generalized a lot of its hacks and a lot of information, so you can really pick up to speed really quickly. And then they just have all this energy and enthusiasm from playing CTFs constantly. So some of these young guys coming up are just amazing.
Yeah, and you have a lot of write-ups, you have a lot of tools, you have a lot of
Yeah.
high-quality CTFs, so
That's true.
opportunity to practice. In general, I mean, of course, you still have to grind the hours, but maybe
Right.
you can at least spend them on more meaningful stuff than losing 10 hours on some like bullshit detail anymore, because someone will have written something about it, and you can Google it, and you realize like, oh, okay, so this is how you do it.
And then when you get to the esoteric stuff where no one's writing about it, you'll have the tools to be able to sit there and like sort of hit your head against the wall for a while
Yeah.
until you figure it out. And that is where hackers are made. That wall hitting part.
Yep. So, Jazzy, reading up on the fseek documentation.
Yeah, so what I'm doing there is I'm getting the file size by seeking to the end and then back to the beginning.
Ah,
So it might seem a bit weird because that's like a bit of a convoluted way to do it.
yeah.
But I was just doing this so that it wasn't too. So you don't know, like it's. I don't want a straight arrow from like here to the vulnerability. I just want to put a few things in to confuse them on the way. So the way I open the file, for example, is I use normal open and then I convert it to a file pointer. The file descriptor gets converted to a file pointer, which is retarded.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I see.
So yeah. So, but it's good that he pays attention to all of these things because that's how you're going to find the uninitialized variables, for example.
Yeah. So I think I saw mightymo looking at some ROP gadgets. Yes, you can see it can be a little bit difficult to read, but it says pop EBP there, and then there's an address. So he has some gadget in there.
Mm.
Is this
Maybe a pivot,
yeah,
and then he does a leave.
yeah,
A leave reds after that, and then he can pivot. That's that, yeah. Because I mean, for 32-bit, you don't really need full ROP change, right? Because you pass the arguments on the stack.
yeah,
So he might be trying to read a second payload in to the data section, and then he'll do a pivot there. That's what I'm guessing.
yeah. And the alternative then is to do so because the data section is static, right? So
Yeah.
so that's an alternative to doing a leak then, right? Or like
Or it allows you to do the leak and then have a second go at things
okay,
as well.
yeah,
Because, okay, so I forgot to mention this. Obviously, there's a little loop that's asking them for files constantly. There are only 5 attempts that they're allowed in this loop, right? So, potentially, if you wanted more, you could sort of just, ROP enough to restart the binary by calling main again, and then you get another 5 tries. So if you manage to, so using that, you could basically just leak whatever you wanted at your own leisure. You don't have to be constrained by these 5 tries, and then you can pivot into the data section and potentially use the functions that I've already given you if you don't want to get the libc leak. I would go for the leak myself. That's just what I do.
yeah. So the question is now then who is, because it kind of feels like Niklas, Jazzy, and Mo are roughly at the same spot still. Well, we don't know
Yeah.
what this ROP thing with Mo is gonna lead to. So he might be, if that turns out to be a good idea, he might be just slightly ahead. But it's really gonna be interesting to see who really makes the takes that next step basically.
And the thing is, because it's such a simple pwn, right? Like once you get to where they are, it's basic. That you could, I mean, since it is 32-bit, like you could just, I don't know why that someone's not brute forcing. It's not the clean method, and it's not the reference method, but at where they are now, they could overflow, brute force a libc address, and just even do a 1 gadget or something.
Yeah, you can, by the way, see how used, or maybe that was intentional, but Niklas by reflex writing like 10G.
Yeah, the 32-bit, yeah. I mean, 64, yeah.
So he's used to 64-bit contexts. So some exploit running here with some debug in Pwn tools is that he is at least has a interactive at the end file. Okay, so now he's just checking. Is that some kind of leak then? It's going on his screen. It's a bit difficult to tell, right? But
It looks like ASCII to me. It looks like he's going for a leak, but currently it's ASCII maybe?
Yeah, that could be it. So it's trying to do the leak, but some offset is wrong. Maybe he's over. So all of those A's. I mean, at least when you did it locally, it was a much shorter overflow, right? So
Right.
yeah, we'll see. But he's kind of going in the right direction.
Yep.
So here CCC is again doing some dynamic analysis. Not sure exactly in what the context is here. Looking a little bit at the offsets and the addresses, I guess trying to find out the exact memory layout here. So we have jazzy here. Again, looking at the code in IDA. Some interesting artifacts with this stream. Kind of adds to the hacker vibe with these like glitches in his stream.
Yeah. It's like a CRT or something. It's great.
Yeah. So let's see. It's it's now, it really feels like we reached this this part which we kind of always reach in this episode, a bit of like a plateau where we have some participants. They're onto it. They're on the right direction. They know the bug basically, but there's something that's not just clicking.
In rock climbing, they call this the crux. Just that like shitty little bit in the middle that you got to get over, and then it's smooth sailing.
Yeah.
And Mo has the most famous support in the chat. You see that?
Yeah.
Imagine having a Pwn to own master of Pwn like supporting you so wildly.
That's really it's really good. Good. It's important to have this support, even though the participants might not know it. I think, since I think they're not reading the chat, but the support is there. They can hear
in spirit.
Yeah, it's like
right.
It transcends cyberspace and just gives them the energy to go on here and win this.
Well, I hope Jazzy's got some support as well.
Yeah. So we can look at Jazzy here. It's making some adjustments to the exploit. This is an interesting variant. Slightly modifying that initial file name. So you can see the /dev/standardin capital A and then a whole bunch of null bytes. It's interesting. Would that work? I'm not sure.
Got to admit, his screen was a bit obscured, but now I'm interested.
Yeah. Well, now he's deleting it, so maybe it wasn't such a good idea anyway. We got a question about what we missed so far. Yeah, we can do a small little recap. I think it's a good time for that. So we have this challenge. It asks for a file name. It will open the file and read the first line of the file, right, and print it out. But it turns out that there is a little bit of a logic error if there is a problem when opening the file. And this can then eventually lead to an overflow and controlling the instruction pointer.
Yep.
And we have at least three of our participants. They are kind of onto that. And had kind of found the bug and trying to really make their exploit work or get to the next step. It's a bit difficult to say right now who is in the lead out of those. I think I saw a comment in Niklas' code about so we have IP and 2 gadgets or something. But yeah, so he's confirming some values here in GDB.
Is he going for a partial overwrite?
That would be an interesting technique.
Since it's pi, you get the partial overwrite if the last 3 nibbles are not going to be randomized. So
yeah,
in a tiny binary like this, simple Pwn, you could probably find a decent amount of gadgets within that last 3, 4096 byte range.
Yeah, yeah, could be. Someone is asking what terminal Jazzy is using. I have unfortunately no idea. Maybe someone in the chat can identify it. Um, so I use the same one as Niklas is using, the Terminator, which at least works fine for me.
Yeah, it looks good. I like seeing this. Sorry, go on.
No, sorry. They said that he was using C shell. Yeah, that's the shell he's using then. Which I also use, which I really like. I think another popular choice nowadays is fish. But I have a few colleagues who use it, but I haven't tried it out myself yet.
And you recently found some weird bug with Zedge. I don't know how to pronounce that. Zedge. See, because I don't say Z, it's like I can't flow it.
Yeah. No,
ZSH.
So seashell is what I think it's how it's supposed to be. But then there's also another shell which has an actual C, so that would also be seashell. But that's not as popular anyway. So yeah, there was a bug with in Mac OS with iTerm and seashell. About so if you have a file which does not have a new line at the end of the last, basically it will not print the last line if you cat a file in it.
Yeah, it's not flushing for some reason.
Yeah, very strange behavior, because it's, I mean, I use C shell in both Linux and Mac OS, but the bug only was when I was using it on Mac OS in iTerm, so there's maybe some interaction between iTerm and C shell. Anyway, enough shells. You were saying something.
Yeah, I was just saying how great it is to see, like, because these are some world-class people, right? And I promise this time it's like a definitely 150 or below challenge. Like, it is easy, but there's always that little trickiness, and it's so fantastic to see some world-class people, and you see they still have to put in the time. There's no, like, Jinmo magic for everyone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so they can go deeper than most. I'll give them that. But you still have to grind it and understand the program.
Yeah.
No magic.
So we can look here at Mo again. I have a little bit of difficulties making out the blue text against the blue background. That's an interesting color choice. But it looks like he's building a ROP chain here, at least. Or at least putting some kind of number there. Yeah. That's interesting. Well, let's get back to this. We can check with Jazzy, who is now doing an even longer overwrite. But
yeah. So the leak is what's catching everyone up, right? They got the bugs so quickly, and now it's that leak part. If you get the leak, everything opens up. Now, if you think getting that leak is going to take too long, you have to go for the libc brute force, I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And we should probably say that, so if you're watching this and you're feeling hungry for some Pwnable challenge, there is the Tasteless CTF going on at the moment. Just started basically right before this episode and will run for, is it 24 or 48 hours? Is it? It's 24 hours. So when this episode is done, will still run for like another 20 hours or so. And I've heard it's going to be fairly like binary heavy, like exploit and reverse heavy. So if you like,
definitely, yeah, it's one of the best.
Yeah.
I would say.
So if you like this and you feel like, oh shit, I need to do some Pwn this weekend, then you should definitely head over to the Tasteless CTF after this and just, go at it.
Yeah, big ups to the Tasteless guys. They put on some good stuff.
Yeah, it's really nice that we have all of these high quality CTFs going on all the time.
Yeah, I got worried because HXP was taking over CCC at the end of the year, and then these Eat, Sleep, Pwn, Repeat guys just like because they were not doing CCC anymore, so there was nothing to fill that space. But now it seems like Tasteless is there.
That's great.
So it's like as we lose one, we get another.
Yeah, it's perfect. And another thing we should point out, we were talking about, how we at these episodes we've had both like well-established CTF players and other very respected people in the community, but also newcomers and unknowns. And one of the ways you can get into one of these episodes is to solve the community challenge. So after every episode, typically the day after, so that you get some time to do something else, like playing this Tasteless CTF. We put out a community challenge, which is a pwnable that we put on the website, pwny.racing. And you can download it and solve it. And if you do, you will get a chance to participate in the next episode of Pwny Racing.
Yeah, and it's been fantastic to see some of the big names and up-and-comers like all playing that as soon as you release them. I didn't expect that we would see that, but I have seen a good amount of that, so I hope it keeps picking up.
Yeah.
And there's one tomorrow, right?
Sorry, what?
There's another one tomorrow, right?
Yeah, that's the idea. And we have some people hanging out in our IRC channel at Pwny Racing on Freenode and talking about these challenges as well. And we also keep a Git repo with solutions for the various challenges. So even if you don't manage to solve it, you can use them and try to look at it and learn from how other people solved it. And it's interesting because you also see sometimes solutions that are different than the intended solution, which is always interesting.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
So yeah, that's really good.
And I do believe, I'm not saying it, mate, but I do believe you have some really huge announcement soon, right?
Yeah. There's at least there's another thing, and we'll save it a little bit for later in the episode. So, mixing it up with a little bit of talking about some external stuff and what's actually going on here. So, let's look again here at what Niklas is doing. So you can see his comments here. We have EIP plus 2 gadgets of ROP or so. Need info leak now. And then it says that this will set length to -1.
Yeah.
That's is that the part that does the printing? Like so it will dump much more than or
No. It just prints F with a string specifier.
okay. Yeah.
So all they got to do is cushy up to something on the stack. So basically, imagine if so here's another way. This isn't the way I solved it, but you could just overwrite the return address with itself, right? Just hear me out. It sounds retarded, but hear me out.
Yes.
So you do like a partial overwrite and you find out what the least significant bytes and a half is, right? Then at that point, you know what the return address is because it's in that pi binary. And then you could just brute force that last little bit like with nothing, right? It's easy to brute force. Then you could just create a full string and press against anything on the stack. Your libc stuff that's on the stack, you got stack addresses on the stack, you got pi address on the stack, and you could just get all the leaks you ever wanted. So That's one way to do it, or you could just overwrite with main. So I think everyone's going for the nice approach, the good approach, but they could definitely go dirty. I like dirty.
Yeah, we know, Bob. We know. Yeah. So there was a question about doing maybe like some kind of attack defense thing, or
Mate, you should do that. That would be so amazing.
yeah, but we we're already struggling with the the infrastructure and challenges and stuff. For a regular pwnable. So I mean, I would totally be for that. I'm just thinking about like how that even would work, because what we typically do now is like we have this pwnable, and when someone solves it, it's over, right?
Yeah.
So like how would the stream of an attack defense style thing
I
even
guess like
work?
first to a given number of points, like tennis sort of scoring.
Yeah.
I'd love to see something like that. And then you could have head to head, or you could have four-way. That could be cool. You could also do King of the Hill style, right? That could be fun, like that Robot thing from DEF CON.
Oh yeah.
I like that. And then obviously we've got to do kernel at some point. There's some like cool embedded stuff. We've got all sorts of tricks for weird architectures. So I
Yeah.
think there's lots of stuff coming up. If you could figure out how to do it, I'll make you the poems. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I mean we have all these discussions in our little lab, and we will uh, we will try to make something work. I think we've by now we've kind of established that this whole concept is I mean it's niche, but we have a steady between 50 and 100 viewers per episode. Which is encouraging. So it kind of feels like this works, and as long as people are, interested, we will do this. And of course, we want to try to kind of like evolve the concept. We can see here Jazzy looking at some gadgets, and not exactly sure if he's finding what he wants, but it kind of looks like it. Though he is writing P64, so he also forgot that this is a 32-bit binary. So, but he will probably notice that very soon. Yeah, there was a comment here like I like how excited Bob gets from this these ideas. So yeah, that's you know it's good stuff. So in general, if you have any suggestions or ideas or whatever, even if you come up with them not now during the stream, you can always get in touch with us either on the IRC channel or just contact at pwny.racing email, and that will also.
Or at Zeta Two on Twitter.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Probably a
That
great way.
that also works. And my DMs are open, so like either just tweet it, or just if you want to just discuss it privately, you can send a DM. Like contact me in whatever way suits you, as long as I get the message. That's cool.
Don't contact me though.
No, Bob is a private
I'm
guy,
a recluse. Yeah.
so only comes out on these special occasions, like a pony racing episode.
I ride or die for my homies.
So someone says web real time thingy. So cool.
Yeah.
Where I'm not sure I follow though, but please elaborate. Yeah, there has been questions about like would we do like web, or would we do reverse engineering or so, and
Yeah.
I
I
would
think there's space for it,
yeah.
but personally, I wouldn't be involved. But I mean, I do web now and then, but it just doesn't excite me like Pwn does. But I think for you, like reverse engineering would make sense, and we have some great web guys
Yeah,
in our team that you could use for the web thing.
yeah,
I think all options are open. If the idea is good, people get excited about it, then why not, right?
Exactly. I mean, we're not like categorically ruling out anything beforehand. It's just that um, for these like 9 episodes we've done so far, we've been focusing on Pwn because it's something we like, it's something we know, it's a format that we kind of know works. So but as I said, we want to evolve this, and especially maybe if you can do some like hybrid challenges, like some web/Pwn thing, or I don't know. I mean, personally, I'm big into reverse engineering. Like that's my home turf. But from experience, I think Pwn is more enjoyable to watch. At least like when I'm thinking about what it looks like when I'm doing reverse engineering. Sometimes I'm like staring at the screen for 45 minutes without anything happening, basically. Um, and I'm not sure that would be very exciting, but who knows?
The Cambridge to Cambridge events, between MIT and Cambridge University in England, that had some reverse engineering and really simple poems in it. So, but they had to always use a very simple format for the reverse engineering, like kind of too simple, I would say.
Yeah.
So, like, you can't really do all the. I don't know that you would learn a lot from watching that simple format for reverse engineering. Because all your tricks come when you get stuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we can check back here with mightymo. I see he was like running his exploit a couple of times and watching some output. Now, of course, we missed it, but it would be interesting to see again what he was doing. Yeah, it's a bit tricky there to see exactly what's going on.
Oh, I think I know what's going on there.
Okay.
There's this weird bug in GDB. Um, there's a patch available for it, but if you start GDB with the binary, and it's a 32-bit binary and you're on a 64-bit system, you see that warning stuff there,
Yeah.
and it stops in vsyscall, and it gets all weird like that. And I was trying to solve this myself, and I had to recompile GDB with the patch in. So the one that shipped with Ubuntu wasn't good enough.
Oh, interesting.
So it's just something that people might stumble upon. So it's better to attach sometimes than start it with GDB.
Yeah.
At least for 32-bit. Well, that's unfortunate. I think you might be getting stuck on that one.
That's interesting.
But he is hitting the right breakpoints, though.
Yeah.
So what, do you think his ROP chain worked to get a leak?
I'm very unsure. I really don't know. Could have, or it maybe didn't. So I don't know. Oh, here is a leak though. Look at this. Look at this. Just when you're speaking of it, it's like switching over, so you can see here. Oh, now it's covered by Niklas' beautiful face, but you can see that there was a couple of A's, and then these non-A bytes. So there you have it, and you can see he doesn't overwrite. So this is really starting to look like the reference exploit, basically, where he opens this file that he's not allowed to, and then he writes 13 bytes, I think. Yeah. Which in the one you did, you had like 16 or something, so it's basically the same. And then he's doing that leak, and now it's a bit unfortunate that let me do this for a moment. Can I do this? Yes. So we see here that really looks like an address, right? And he's just trying to figure out where that address is, and it looks like it's inside libc then, I guess, and basically finding the correct offset. So yeah, this is really interesting. He's comparing now his output with the actual mapping from the debugger. And from what I saw, it looked like they were the same. So yeah, he's really getting close. But yeah, let's.
Sorry, mate, I was distracted there for a second. Have I missed anything?
Basically, Niklas has the libc base address. That's what we're at right now.
Oh boy! Wow. Okay.
So that could go down any moment now. But let's leave that for just a second, and let's look at what's going on here with Jazzy. So he also has a working leak, but he's leaking the base of the binary itself. So there's a slight difference there. Using different offsets, then I guess in the leak you would get you could leak both, like a libc address and a address in the binary. So
yeah,
we could see something. We could see a really close match here. I think this might be one of the closest we've had it in any of these episodes. I think it's.
it will be interesting to see if that sort of feeling like you're close, you start like getting a little faster,
Yeah.
and then maybe you make mistakes potentially. So it adds to that suspense, I feel.
Yeah, definitely. Let's check with CCC. Still struggling a little bit with understanding the code, and has not progressed as far as the others, unfortunately. But that's what happens sometimes.
Yep, it does happen. But he is one of these up and comers, so it's fantastic for him, to play with guys of this caliber.
Yeah.
And I'm sure in a year or two he will be at that level as well.
Yeah. So, is Mo actually getting any leak here? It doesn't really look like it. So, yeah, we might have here kind of like a separation that like Niklas and Jazzy has gone ahead from mightymo. So yeah, that's we have.
I'll tell you what, this something really interesting, and since you're so into reverse engineering, you must appreciate this part. That sometimes when you're looking at a really small binary,
Yeah.
so you quickly find the vulnerability. We can all see those, and maybe a couple of them that you're going to chain together, and then you go, okay, it's time to get to work, right? And then later you realize that you went like this long path around just to do something simple like a leak. Whereas if you just took those 5 extra minutes to try understand the tedious part of the binary, you kind of see another way to do it that's really easy.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. But it's always that the trade-off, and this is what comes from like experience and sometimes just a little bit of luck. Like, how much do you spend on kind of like the information gathering, and how much do you spend on trying to build the exploit, and like where do you stop? Because it's not like you're gonna read, even for a small program, you're not gonna read like every single machine code instruction. That's not how it works.
Right.
You want to build like an understanding of the program, and you want to capture all the relevant details, but not more than that. And it's kind of difficult to know when you reach that point.
Yeah, so I guess you just do it on demand and you just keep going back and forth, forth. But it's just interesting. It's not as fast as you could be. Not Jinmo speed, you know what I mean?
No, exactly. You kind of have to kind of build this mental map, kind of like a mind map, or like a concept tree or whatever, where you have these different ideas. Is like, if I knew this, then I would know that, and then I could do this, and you have to have all these like parallel hypotheses in mind while working at it, to really be at like maximum efficiency.
And then like slowly reducing those options.
Exactly.
Right.
You go. It's like the breadth versus depth trade-off thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about things that are coming up. So, people who have been watching this for a while, you know that basically we have this schedule where we try to do one episode a month. Basically, every 4 to 5 weeks we produce an episode. We did a kind of a write-up episode where we went through one of the community challenges. We are planning on doing more of those. We just haven't gotten our schedules together properly yet, but there will be more of that. But there is another special episode coming up. So we are partnering with the organizers of the Seesaw finals. So we'll have like a pony racing franchise event, you could even call it. So Jordan and Rusty from Vector 35, and I think maybe both, at least Jordan is from Vector 35. Anyway, they're helping out with organizing the Seesaw finals, and one of the parts of that will be like a head-to-head knockout pwnable tournament, which will be live streamed on this channel as like in the same style as pony racing. So let's see, what are the dates for the Seesaw finals? There will be, of course, more information about this on Twitter and on the website and so on. But this will happen in the 6th to 8th of November, so it's like about 2 weeks from now. But more details will go out. So basically, it's a pony racing style event, but instead of me and Bob, you will have Jordan and Rusty as commentator live from the Seesaw finals with a head-to-head knockout tournament between the Seesaw finalists. So really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, definitely. You're a bit of a hustler, you know.
Well, I mean, it's all for the community.
I love it.
And yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it myself. Actually, I will be playing a CTF in Romania at the time, so I will be awake all of those. Whatever time it is, I will be awake because I will be playing a CTF, so I will be able to watch this myself live as well. So that's cool.
I'll be awake, but I won't be playing a CTF.
Yeah. Let's check in here with. I'm gonna do a slight change. I'm gonna move Niklas' camera over to the other side so that we can see the output of his challenge. Or
by the way, I love when they do the camera.
Yeah. I think it definitely adds to it. It was great when I think it was Voss who did it. Yeah, he's the only other person who done it, I think.
No, I mean your live one that you did at CCC.
Oh yeah,
camp.
we did a CCC camp one. Speaking of, so if we consider the normal release schedule for this, we will have another episode at the end of November, and then we will have another episode at the end of December, which aligns very well with the CCC event. So we are at the moment, exploring the possibilities of doing another on-site from CCC live event as a kind of like a wrap up for the year, And it's also would be cool because basically the whole idea of doing this was hatched during a late night conversation at CCC last year. So I think that would be fitting. But yeah,
Definitely.
that's still kind of like in the planning stage. So if that happens, first of all, if you are somehow like if you are there, if you're able to help out, if you're in any way able to contribute to making this happen, please reach out to me, and I will provide, of course, more information about this when or if this happens. And if not, there will be just a regular episode at the end of December, which is also really cool. But it would be nice to be able to do one of those.
Yeah, I think it would.
Yeah, but I mean, the seesaw is happening, so that one you can really like mentally like note down. And on-site CCC, we're working on it.
And two big names lined up for the November one, so it's looking good. The Pwny calendar is looking pretty decent.
Nice. Let's check back with Jazzy.
Do you think of Jazzy Jeff every time you say his name? Because I've had the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme tune going through my head since you started saying Jazzy.
Oh yeah, now I have a confession to make. I don't think I've ever seen an episode of that.
Get out.
I was one of the dorky kids. I was watching like Cartoon Network and Digimon and stuff when that was going on TV.
That's unfortunate. I thought we were going to be friends, but then you said that, and yeah.
Yeah. No, that's too bad. We'll have to settle for being co-commentators. So yeah, I'm really curious here about Jazz's exploit because, well, I guess he's not really quite there yet since he has a dead beef in his exploit.
All right, so I think I know what's going on.
Yeah.
He's overwritten too much, and there's a part where it checks if there's a file pointer, then it calls fclose on that file pointer. So he needs to set that little patch of memory to 0
Oh yeah.
in order to not go that far, or he just needs to pivot before it gets to that point. So I think that's where he's having a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, so we had the comment here from Amat, like, I like Jesse's approach of getting the binary base, can leak anything and restart the binary. So that's...
Yeah, that's that thing where we said if you get to start main again, get as many chances as you want, and you have access to all of those gadgets, and you know where the global offset table is, and it's leak city.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like for speed in this one, I'm so shocked that no one's brute forcing 32-bit libc. Again, it's dirty, but it's so doable.
Yeah. It's
And the version of the libc, what version is it? Like, because maybe they could do some IO file magic on it. It's 2.27, right?
It should be, yes. I can verify that. It's 2.29.
Ah, okay.
Because
right.
my server is actually running Ubuntu 19. And I'm not familiar enough with the different libc versions.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. Don't get me started, please.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, Bruce Keith is saying, like, you really don't need to think to brute force anymore, and he's right. He's absolutely right. But it's so dirty that it's so doable on this one. I just can't imagine why 1 out of 4 people is not attempting it. That's all. But it's definitely, yeah, your mind shouldn't go there first. It shouldn't go to brute force ever first, really.
No. I solved one of the pwnable.kr challenges with the 12-bit brute force, and I didn't run
Yeah.
it from a Korean server, so it took like 40 minutes to run the exploit, but it worked.
I had a brute force on that exact war game that lasted 24 hours, and I had to use a Taiwanese server, Taiwanese war game, to SSH into that. It was insane. But yeah, there are some challenges there that you have to brute force for sure, like some of that heap stuff.
Yeah. So let's check out Mo again. I'm really sorry for that loud noise, by the way. My calendar notification went
I have
off.
a quick question.
Yes.
When are you going to get Live Overflow to play?
Yeah, so Live Overflow is here in the chat, talking about Izzy from Digimon, which I can approve. Also claiming that he's not ready to be humiliated yet. I think that's the completely wrong mindset. It would be, I think it would be great to have him on. And there's no humiliation here. This is all about the education, about the fun. It's a little bit about winning.
A lot about winning to me.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on I think that might be another reason that I really liked reverse engineering so much, because if you have like a big reverse engineering thing, it's very much like a journey. Like it you just you go down this deep rabbit hole of this program, and you kind of like you become very familiar with it, and then you work with it for 8 hours, and then you finally emerge on the other side with some new knowledge, and like a lot of frustration and anger as well, but
Sounds like a quest.
yeah.
I like Pwny because you get to break shit.
I mean, I respect that.
I think reverse engineering, I mean, we both do it, obviously, but I would say you're the guy on that space, and it's for smarter people, whereas Pwny is for people that just like to break shit.
It's a nice analysis. What also would be nice is if we would see a shell pop here.
I'd love to see some fireworks. Are there fireworks this episode?
There should be.
Well, fingers crossed.
I mean, there was some last-minute intense typing commands in the terminal to get this stuff working. I have probably never sysadmined so hard. It was like what do you call it, CSI episode or something. Just
Enhance.
Yeah.
With plasters on your fingernails. I love that he's putting comments in, by the way.
Yeah, that's true professional. So now Niklas is going for the one gadget.
Ah, lovely. I need to put this out there. That the size thing, because he's worried about the size and all of that stuff. It's not actually used. It was used in the previous version. That was a little bit trickier, but it's not used in this one. So I might have wasted some of his time, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's good. Now we have gotten the chat to peer pressure Live Overflow into participating, and I'm all for that. Peer pressure is one of the most powerful forces. It's good.
It is if it works. I don't know. He seems too confident. You know? You want someone with low self-esteem. That's the best person to peer pressure.
Oh, this is like the bully handbook right away. Oh yeah, so this is something we could talk about. So Jazzy here was googling this fatal error glibc detected an invalid standard IO handle. So I guess this comes from him overflowing a little bit too much, or
Yep, that's exactly what it is. He's taking out the file pointer, and there's one more operation on that file pointer. So when it's using the IO jumps,
Yep.
you know, the jump table,
Yep.
It's obviously libc has some protection there.
Yep.
At least that version. And so it's detecting that, and it's just chucking out an assert error, which is unfortunate because now he might be able to do some stuff there, but it's going to be slow going, and there's a much easier way.
Yeah. So.
And it's important to say that when Nicholas is looking for his one gadget, at the time of crash, I do believe his ESI has, is pointing to the libc global offset table, which is usually a big prerequisite. And so he might just need to make some of the stack null somewhere, and it might already be null. So he's looking for those gadgets that have two constraints. One is that ESI contains the GOT of libc, and then the other one is that some relative offset on the stack is null.
Yeah.
So he should have about 4, I would count. Four of those one gadgets should probably work there.
Yeah, we can switch over to Nicholas again. You see, feels like he keeps changing his mind a little bit about how to structure the exploit. You can see a couple of different variants of his exploit. So, yeah. So now this is... he has a comment here like, okay, how is this even EIP control? And he's sending Bob a couple of times. Interesting. No, it's just sending B, but it looks like Bob.
I approve.
So
that's fantastic, because when I was running the original, I was running up against some of the same weirdness.
Yeah.
And I figured it out slightly. But yeah, I guess he's having... So it's kind of related to the same problem that Jazzy was having, technically. But the fact that he has that control and it is consistent, he could brute force that libc right now.
Yeah. Oh, actually, look here. We can go over to Mo, who... Oh, he just tabbed away from it. But you can see here... Yeah, so you can see he is... that looked like a libc... He was printing out the libc.
What? Do you mean the leak work?
Yeah, I mean, I just saw a quick glance or something. I mean, could have been something. So
that would be fantastic if he figured out how to make the leak work. He's back in the game.
Yeah, you can see that lib pointer. You see there's one, and then you see the libc F7D.
Yes.
Which, yeah. So he's also back in the game, basically. And
so it's a 3-way race right now.
Yeah.
With ZZZ not too far behind, I hope.
Yeah, it's we can check in with him. Looking at the memory map here, setting some breakpoints. I still think he's a little bit struggling with wrapping his head around the actual bug. So yeah, that's unfortunate, but that's just how it is sometimes.
It happens to the best of us.
So
Aces is already on Mo's side.
yeah. Come on, Mo, so close. Yeah, it's
Does he have
it's
money on him or something?
yeah. When do we start the pony bettings?
Oh wow. Oh wow,
Can
dude.
you bet like CTF time ranking points on?
Or Bitcoin. Just do it.
Oh yes, go all in on the hustle.
Yeah.
Oh, that will surely not, make people feel even more pressured.
Yeah, you're never getting live overflow once there's money on the line.
Everyone bets on him, and then he doesn't win, and everyone like raids his stream, super angry for losing all their bitcoins.
Or we pull some mafia tricks and we like go to them when they're sleeping and take some, you know, fucking iron bar to their shins. Okay, that went dark.
Yeah. Live Overflow says he'd advertise it. Yeah.
Hey, shout out to our little team over there, huh?
Yeah. They say that they need all the CTF points we can get to beat Hacking for Soju.
Is he
Well,
from what? Is he from whatever?
or KTH. They are closely related, so I mix them up. Someone says they can see yeah, he's from whatever. I can see
Damn.
regulatory problems in the future of that idea. That's not like forward thinking. That's negative
Right.
vibes. We
You
don't
have to get
want.
caught first before it's a problem.
Anyway, let's check in with Mo, who is leaking stuff and creating some kind of ROP gadgets, ROP chain here. So really could be it any moment.
And
This is
he's now
so
got
tense.
Honolulu supporting, who was playing in the last episode.
Yeah.
It's like Shellfish Army out in full support for him.
That's. I mean, can you ask for better support?
I know, and they got really good T-shirts as well.
Oh yeah, I want one of those.
I know, yeah.
Just hint, 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 and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so what is Mo doing? So what do they actually need to do when they? I mean, when they have the leak.
I believe they want to pop a shell, Zeta.
Oh yeah, that's what this is about, right? Because
Yeah, so the leak, I guess one shot, right?
yeah,
A
exactly.
leak, pivot, one shot, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah,
But, I mean, it's all up to them, right? There's actually more than one opportunity to get EIP control here, and a couple of them are perfect for that one shot. So if you need to do a system SH thing, you're going to need more than one gadget, right? So you're kind of narrowing your options. That's why I think Nicholas might have the edge.
interesting. Well, let's check in with him. So the Germans are at it again or something. The some
The Germans.
it's the Germans in the chat. So now Nicholas is just doing some manual testing to just see that things are working.
Man, hacking is hard.
Yeah. That's oh actually look here I was just looking at C's exploit and you can see the initial part of the exploit, right? Like open self proc fd1 fd0 and then send a garbage file. So he has also figured out kind of like the initial part of it. So he could have the leak any moment as well.
Yeah.
That would bring this even closer.
That'd be amazing. Photo finish.
photo. Yeah, definitely. That's why it's good that we have this the fireworks thingy. Then only one person can be the first.
It can be only one.
Yes. So let's check with jazzy. Doing some leak, attaching, continuing, just stepping through, and yeah, it looks like he almost has the IP control there as well. So interesting. Though since he is leaking the binary base, so he cannot go for just directly for the one-shot gadget, because he doesn't have the libc base address.
Right.
Um,
But it does give him the ability to restart the binary.
Yep. Yeah. So it's that's powerful by itself. So yeah. So let's check in with Mo. Is he catching up? So yeah. So what's going on right now here in his debugging session? It's a little bit. I mean,
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell when he's going so quickly.
yep.
He hacks like in the movies.
Yeah. That's.
I mean, the stack has a lot of things on it, so what is the ideal leak? I guess that's what I imagine he's busy trying right now.
Yep.
Yeah. So he's stepping through, looking for that ideal leak, and that's as far as I can see.
Yep. Well, we'll just have to wait and see what that actually leads to.
He has the most support, so let's hope it works.
Yep.
But he does get a leak. Just not a good one.
Yep. So yeah, looking here with checking with Niklas, trying to see.
Oh, Aces just said that he has libc. Okay, see that's great because we got plenty of eyes. I was distracted, Zeta was distracted, so he does have that libc. So what is he doing then? Can anyone take a guess?
Yeah. Are we talking about mode right now, right? Or
Yeah, I was talking about Mo, yeah. But
Yeah.
we should talk about Nicholas as well, obviously.
yeah, no, yeah, Mo totally has libc. Yeah, that it's jazzy who is leaking the binary base.
All right, yes, you're right. I mixed them up. See, that's why it's good you're here.
Yeah. So well, let's check in with jazzy, see what's going on. Yeah.
So it looks like Mighty Mo is crashing at the wrong place, Aces said, and I will take his word as the law.
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah, jazzy. I love that they all have this BBB thing going on. Is he manually attaching every time?
It looks like it, I think. It's a bit strange actually, but yeah, so that's what he's doing.
Dumping 64-bit sizes there.
Yeah, I guess he's just trying to find out if like what he's doing is aligning with the like what he's seeing is corresponding to what he's getting.
Oh no, he's looking for the IO jump table.
Oh, is that what's going on?
Looks like it. So he's typing in there.
Yeah. Let's check with Niklas here again. You can see again he's leaking libc there as well. He's printing that out. So that part still works, but
I mean, could be minutes away, right?
yeah.
I hate this though. Sometimes this happens. We've seen it a couple times where we just sort of think like, oh, it's about to happen, and then we just, relax a little bit, like it's not going to happen,
Yeah.
and then we miss the main part.
Yeah, because it can come like, like that.
And when will these be hosted?
Yeah, so as usual, we will host this challenge afterwards. But we need to figure out if we can get. So we had an issue basically where the challenge doesn't quite behave the same way when you run it through some kind of host program, basically. So we usually host these with XignetD inside a Docker, but that didn't work. And then we tried SoCat, and that also didn't work. So that's right why in this particular case they were given just a SSH login to run the challenge, and that works. So we will just have to figure out how to sort it. Maybe we will host it as a local challenge, but then we'll have to make sure to put in some proper limitations and stuff. So yeah, we will try to host it as soon as possible. But we will be releasing the community challenge tomorrow afternoon either way. So that one is ready to go.
Cool. Honolulu just asked an interesting question.
Yes, so the base thing. Yeah, I was sorry, I was not keeping attention. Is that? Oh yeah, you can see there in the breakpoints that Niklas is setting up. He's using like base plus an offset, and asking if it's a PDA thing. Yeah, it might be. Well, I guess he's using Pwny debug, right? So another way you can do it is you can type what's called
BRVA.
Yeah, so break at virtual address, I guess, or break or something like that.
That's it.
Which will do the same thing. So you can just do like BRVA and then the offset, and it will figure out and put the breakpoint in the right place. So that's another way of doing it.
Yeah, strip pie is just not fun without that
No, it's a bit of a pain.
in the bum.
So yeah, we can look here with Jazzy again and see how he's doing. No visible progress really. I'm not sure what he's doing either. Yeah, someone pointed out in chat as well. Pwnybug has BRVA for relative breakpoints. That was what I was referring to.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, it really could be between any of these people right now. Really looking forward to see.
Yeah.
Someone else, can we set the virtual address breakpoint while the binary is running? Yeah, I think that's the only time you can set the virtual address breakpoint, I guess. Yeah, so it seems like Jazzy stopped streaming. I will have to check with him if anything happened, but we'll keep going. So yeah. So look, if we're looking here at mightymo's exploits, I'm just trying to figure out where he's going. I mean, he has this leak, but what's where is he going? So now he's running Rob Gadget to find some gadgets. And yeah, it's okay. So Honolulu says Mo might be trying to read more data into the stack. Yeah, that's maybe what's happening. So maybe that's what he wants the gadgets for. So if we check here with CCC again, I think I saw that he had made some progress in figuring out a little bit more. The question is he getting a leak yet? Yes, you can see there actually. In about like 2/3 up in the history, you can see he has like A B C D E, and then there's some extra bytes. So I think he's actually even getting the leak. That means that we have all 4 players getting the information leak at least. So that's good. So now,
Fantastic.
just a question: who will get that final little thing to get it to work?
I'm going with ZZZ.
I mean, it's
It's not over till it's over, mate.
no, exactly. and he's coming in. I mean, he was the most recent person to have some kind of breakthrough, I guess, since he's now getting that leak. So you know, might be getting that kind of like still has kind of like that initiative and hope. Like the others might be, you know, getting a little bit frustrated or tired about not getting that last little thing to work. So yeah, it's really interesting. So you can check here again with so just give us a second here. It seemed okay. It seems that there is some issue with the challenge again, and now I'm really confused.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
Yeah. So we might need to figure that out.
Should get some background music.
Yeah, should do that.
How about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme?
Yeah. So the problem here is that it doesn't make sense at all. This whole setup is... I'm going insane. I'm going absolutely insane because...
Yeah, it's a bit weird with this setup.
Yeah, so I'm SSH'd in with my proper account to the server, which... And then it does work. And then I SSH into the server with the account that the participants are provided with. And then it doesn't work.
I guess you're gonna have to give them access to your root account.
Yeah. So it makes no sense. Yeah, I'm really sorry to about these problems, but so far it shouldn't have impacted the participants yet because they are still trying to solve this locally, and we can definitely see the correct behavior when they are running it locally. So it shouldn't have any real impact yet. So yeah, someone says the next level play to increase the viewing time, make an unsolvable challenge. Yes, but who will be watching?
I can do that.
Yeah. Why could this be? Is this about like different? I mean, it must be some kind of permission thing, because I'm SSH'd into the server with two different users, and one user can, for one user the challenge works, and for one user it doesn't.
Yeah, it's got to be perms, innit?
So
Ace says it works, but not on the account that he's testing with right now.
So someone says, yeah, exactly. So to explain the problem here we're having is that for the challenge to work, the opening the like proc self fd0 needs to fail with this permission problem, but it just silently fails instead. So
yeah, it won't even open.
Yeah, and they said, are they using the same shell? And I thought I tested. Wait, let me. That could be actually a good.
This is why it pays to have Pwny people in the chat.
Yeah. So wait, what's the syntax for shit? Just, can you do this for another?
Great, now it's like another challenge in a challenge.
Yeah.
While you do adminning, and I just sit here with my feet up.
Yeah. And I can let's try this. Let's do this, and then we SSH in again.
Oh, I don't like that sound.
Let's give it another try. No, this is very, very strange. Now I tried with both like sh, bash, and C shell. So it's not the difference in shell either. So that's definitely an issue. Should probably tell the participants this just as a heads up. Yeah, so I don't know what's happened with Jazzy's stream. I'm going to contact him as well. Hey, all the participants. I have identified another issue on the remote setup. So if you managed to solve it locally before we fixed it remotely, please tell us. So yeah, I'll check with Jazzy as well. A little bit of juggling here.
Yeah, it's a tough one. If you need me to help, just say so. Some unknown guy called Stephen Van Acker wants to know if you tried with strace.
Okay, so here comes the silly part. When I
Okay,
run it
let's do
with
this.
when I run it with strace, it works.
Well, that sucks because doesn't it use set UID?
Yeah, exactly.
So ptrace drops that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, you know what? No, actually, never mind. I was going to say something stupid. Oh, wait. Honolulu has an option
Proc fs
in the
hiding.
chat.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't even know how to do that, and I just have two different users on the same server. It's not inside a Docker or anything. It's just two regular users. On the server. Doesn't make. Yeah, so I'm thinking that the group membership part is I guess what I'm thinking, but
I like this crowd debugging thing that's going on.
yeah, this this is good.
Get the community involved.
Yeah. So you can see here, for example, this the important part here, if you look at Niklas' stream, is that he gets this "don't even think about it" error message, and that's the message you get when you get this permission error. The problem is that we're not getting that error on the remote server at all.
Except with one account, right?
Except, yeah, sorry, that's what's even more confusing. I'm getting it with my real account.
Keep reading the chat because there's some other suggestions there as well.
Yeah, it could be the variable from the user environment or something different from two accounts. What makes your account real? Yeah, that's just like the account I usually use for administering this server. This is so frustrating.
If I was going to listen to two people, it would be Steven and Aces. And Honolulu, so...
Yeah, so if you
I'm
were going to
sure
listen
one
to
of
two
those-
people, it would be three people.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a big deal because nobody's gone all the way yet.
Nope. So we still have some time. It's just
Yeah.
now Niklas wrote here in his debugging, okay, fuck stack pivot. So that's, I guess, what he's been trying to do then. Yeah, so we tried the suggestion about using we tried both variants with the proc self fd0. Yeah. Is it because it's could the SUID binary thing be affecting this? Let's temporarily remove that. Oh, okay. Now it works.
Whoa. Successful debugging. I love it.
So, for some reason, when it's a SUID binary, it doesn't work. Well, I'll just change the ownership of all of these files and just hope they don't notice, so that they actually don't need that, and then just pretend. Yeah, so we fixed the remote server. It's working fine.
When he says we, he means he.
Yeah. So does that mean that mightymo has a working exploit? Okay, let's look at him. Let's find out. So the thing is now that he
Yeah, interesting. So yeah, I just verified everything.
Yep.
And it's perfectly fine. Even the easy leak method is perfectly fine. And I'll feed you that command so you can check. But everything's there's nothing wrong here. So the reference exploit works, server works. We're just waiting for them to get the second payload or whatever it is they're doing.
Yeah. So it looks like mightymo is about to run this payload remotely. It's uploading it to the server. This is going to be interesting.
Here we go.
Really exciting now.
Shellfish getting the win, maybe.
Oh yeah, you can see in the debug output, executing new program /bin/dash.
Yep.
So, ooh, is it happening? Is it happening?
Should be.
Just past the 2-hour mark. So, he is connected. I think it's he seems to have some problems with uploading the exploit for some reason.
I hate that you got to use the capital P for the
Yeah,
port.
so like, why has SSH a lowercase p and SCP as a capital P? That's
so annoying.
Oh yeah, he's connecting to. Oh.
Order of arguments. God damn.
Yeah.
SCP. By the way, Shellfish, if you win, you owe me a shirt.
Yeah, and while you're, at the post office, you might as well send two. Yeah, I think it's the order of Mo. I think it's the order of arguments for SCP.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, imagine how much that stresses out all the other participants. Yeah, that worked. So let's see. Will it work? Will it work? There's the exploit. Needs to change the path to remove the GDB attach thing. Ooh, this is really, really coming together now. It's just Python. Oh yeah, the name of the binary.
Doing precious seconds.
Oh God.
Be so awesome if someone sniped him right now.
No such file or directory. Oh yeah, so he's opening the.
Oh yeah, is Pwn Tools installed?
Pwn Tools is installed
Okay.
on the server. So yeah, just making some last minute changes here to. Oh, this is so exciting. No, I think because now he overwrote the address again. So there was one line above, which where he set the offset, and then just on the line below now he did this search replace. So I think he just replaced that again with. I hope he really sees that, because that would be such an annoying thing. Yeah, no, wait, he didn't do this replace. Or did he redo it? Or no, this is his local thing, maybe. Yeah,
Aces is wondering if he used the wrong libc.
he might have actually. But I mean, he should be able to notice that, right? Because since
The base won't have the 3 zeros.
exactly, that will it really should show. The fun thing here is that they could just run since I just changed the permission to fix this, so if they just run the flag submitter, it works.
If he does that, I say give it to him anyway. To be smart.
Yeah. But there he should see that it's not the. This is so, these small little things. What if someone else catches up? Like, oh my God. Oh, he forgot. You missed the F. Yeah. Okay, but now we can just take that offset. I mean, the fun thing is that since he is on the server, he could just use the. Oh, let's see. Did he? No. So he gets a leak, but it doesn't work. So is it? Did he use the one gadget?
I wonder.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, this is intense. It could, he really could have it any moment now. But I would be so stressed out if I was in his position right now, where you're like, you have it, but it's not working, and
With those tiny little adjustments.
yeah.
And plus, everybody's like leaning
Oh,
forward and
look
staring.
look at look at Niklas. He is look. He has a wait. I need to switch over to him. So he has a working. I don't know if you see it, but yeah. So he has a working local exploit as well. Oh my god.
Oh no!
Oh my god.
We've been waiting for this 9 episodes to get to this.
Yeah. Um.
I think the German's gonna win. I want Nicholas to do it just to increase the suspense, but I really want a shellfish shirt.
Okay. So we have Nick. So Niklas just asked me to clarify what he was allowed to do.
Alright, so here it is. 2 Germans, shellfish, ESPR,
Yeah.
and we're waiting for some fireworks.
So this is intense. So Niklas is now copying this his script over to the server, I think, and his offset is off somehow. So he also needs to do some slight fix-ups on his script. This is amazing. Let's go back to Mo.
Wrong lipsy again, I
Yeah.
love it. Pwnweb said to ZZZ, just Alice, LA. Because you didn't have the perms. I love it.
Yeah.
Ah, boy. This is so stressy to watch. It's a nice keyboard you got there. A mechanical, proper, clicky one,
Oh yeah, it hears. Is it? It's. I guess it picks up on the microphone.
Yeah, definitely, but it's a good sound.
Yeah. So that's.
Feel that intensity that you type with.
Yeah, it's just a bit stressful. There've been a lot of issues with this episode, but I hope everyone can appreciate it anyway. It's sorry for the technical issues. So yeah.
Yeah, so Aces is saying that that's the issue with the one gadget. If you get the libc wrong, it's a tough time to fix up. And he's right because the constraints can change completely. Sometimes you might only get 2 gadgets or something, and some other libc you get 6, and then the constraints might not be as ideal.
Yeah. The interesting thing is that I basically upgraded the server the other day because I was trying to fix this. I mean, I thought it would fix the issue because I was running that locally. So yeah, it's a bit unfair. But let's look here at mightymo. He has got the right offset now, so he gets the libc base. And that's will this take him all the way? Let's see how Jazzy is doing. Now he dropped off a little bit. He was up there in the...
He was the first one to figure it out, for sure.
Yeah. And then, got a little bit stuck. Happens. Check with the CCC. Yeah, also you can see here, like, leaking some base, looking at some gadgets. So also made some good progress.
Wow, yeah.
That would be amazing if he just like...
Oh, that would be the best. Oh, that's like a World Cup finish right there.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's some thing here about like running it with each gadget remotely. There's even a feature in this like one gadget tool. You can provide it with the script, and then it will run the script with the offset as an argument once for each offset. So if you make your exploit script take the one gadget offset as an argument, and then it will just run it for you that many times.
But in this instance, they get a bit of stack control. So if they, you know what I mean? Like if they want to write nulls past a certain end in order to solve lots of constraints, it would be a little different for each gadget specifically.
Yeah.
But I like that idea.
Here's some from Rob Giff, also from ESPR. The rule of libc is it's the one that is running on SPQ's laptop. I am assuming there is some ESPR inside joke here, but I don't know. That sounds good.
Breathe.
Yeah. I just want to see one of them solve this. So yeah, so Niklas is now trying to figure out the various offsets again for the proper libc version. I think. Yeah, so here he's getting the system offset. And a few others. So we can...
Oh, so he's going to do a system BNSH thing.
Yeah, that was what his exploit was doing all the time. You can see there, if you look in the middle, basically on this, you have like system and then the string sh. So he's just gonna do call the system with the bin.sh as an argument.
Can I just say the obvious? Didn't he write the libc database that everyone uses? And doesn't that tool dump all of these offsets nice and easy with one command? And isn't that exact libc in that database?
That's your last statement is the one that's questionable, or like that's
No,
not...
I just confirmed it, mate.
Okay. Well, then...
Because when I gave you that offset, that's how I got it.
Well then... That's hilarious.
He literally wrote a tool to do all of this. And it's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's just translating offsets now to just get it all right. This is so intense. You have Niklas and Mo, like, you know, right at the same place, sorting these last things out. mightymo's going for the one-shot approach. Niklas for the maybe more reliable, like calling system with the proper argument approach. So we could see a pop here, you know, a shell any moment now. Any moment. Oh, so who is it gonna be? Is it Niklas or Mo?
I'm impartial, you know. I'm a
I mean,
so I can't. I just want shellfish shirt. That's it.
So I'm kind of thinking that Niklas will get it, you know, for sure within a few moments.
Yeah.
But if mightymo, you know, is a bit lucky, he might get it in before.
Right, because the one shot should give him that speed, but if he has the wrong one,
yeah,
then Niklas gets it.
Exactly. So Niklas' approach is like it's slower but reliable, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's coming down to this. So now Mo is running something again. Getting the libc base, the address of the magic thing. Is it running the... Yeah, not quite there yet. Okay, so Niklas said that he is he's setting up a VM with the proper
Wow.
libc to actually try this.
They're just increasing the suspense.
Oh. So Yeah. So let's switch over to Niklas again to see. Yeah. I just know what's happening with mightymo here. It seems like nothing's really happening. Or was he the one running on two different screens or something? And maybe.
No, there's movement now.
Yeah. It's cool. So you can check in with CC looking for some gadgets. Not sure exactly what he's looking for, but I don't know. Hopefully he finds it. Jazzy making some adjustments here again to his exploit. Yeah, so he's actually doing like manually attaching every time to the process, which at least what I typically do is this: you can do a dash p with a subshell and like pid off and just attach it. You can just run the same command every time without having to copy and paste the process ID.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So let's look here now at Niklas' exploit.
He wrote something to us down there. So he created the cloud VM, and he has no idea how to figure out this offset otherwise.
Yeah. So yeah, now it's looking for the bin message string again, finding that offset. So is this the final thing he needs?
Yep.
Will this be? Well, that was locally on his. So it worked locally on his machine. You can see the ID command there.
Yeah.
So he should just need some. Okay, let's check back with mightymo then. Seems like, did he just switch approach here now? So that's his stack pointer rope, or is it just breaking somewhere else in the? I'm a bit confused here now. might be getting a little bit tired, I guess. It's yeah, I'm really hoping they would get it anytime now. So yeah, so we can just give like kind of like a status update on where we are. So basically we have two of our participants, Niklas and Mo. They had a challenge or an exploit that was working locally, and they are now having some troubles running it remotely. And unfortunately, the remote setup is a little bit odd because of last-minute technical issues. So they can SSH into the server and run the challenge locally. And basically, Niklas and mightymo are going with two different approaches for the final part, where mightymo is trying the libc one-shot gadget, and Niklas is trying a more like reliable, just setting up a ROP chain to call, or yeah, I mean it's a super tiny ROP to call the system function with the command basically. And then we also have jazzy and CCC, but and CCC have now caught up to jazzy basically, I think, but I think they are both not quite there yet with the actual exploit.
Well, I'm back.
Hi, Bob.
Sorry about that. Really needed a drink.
Yeah, I just did a small recap of where we are at.
Yeah, and it's cool to hear that ZZZ, as I shall call him, caught up. Or at least to Jazzy.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. So yeah, I'm just waiting for this to. It really should happen like now, any moment, basically. And yeah, so Niklas here is correcting some of his offsets for his exploit to get it to work. I think it's those addresses of the system function and the bin.sh string. So
you would agree with me that he is probably going to get this.
I mean,
in theory, mightymo should get this first, but it looks like Niklas is going for the tried and tested approach.
Yeah. No, I think he's gonna get it. I really expect him to be able to get this within, just a couple of minutes.
It's great to have so many like guys at the same sort of level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that you get these photo finishes, for example.
Yeah. It's really close here. Let's go back here to mightymo, who's also just making some, small adjustments to the exploit. Not using the same approach as you said. Or is he switching approach now? Because now I saw that he's looking up the system symbol.
Oh wow.
And the bin.sh. Oh, so he switched. He gave up on the on the one gadget thing. So
now he's actually a little bit behind, maybe, Niklas.
Well, Yeah, maybe depends. But on the other hand, if he already lined up all the proper. No, wait, look, Niklas has. Yeah, you couldn't see it, but it crashed. Basically, you could see the ID command where it said CTF, which is the name of the user. There you see he has code execution. Yeah, that's actually a finish. So I just.
Want to see fireworks?
Yeah, I'm just telling him to. So. I just told him to run the. That's great. Well played, Niklas. I will run it for him.
Do it.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Oh no.
Oh, didn't. Okay, I messed up. Let me.
I need those damn fireworks.
Yeah. I don't think it can be arranged because I messed up. So no
Okay,
fireworks.
well,
sorry.
He won. Niklas B won.
User was moved to your channel. User was moved to your channel.
My
Wow.
fucking god.
Good
What a
game,
ride.
everyone. Congratulations, Niklas.
You got it?
Yeah.
Zeta, did you tell Moritz the same thing that you told me?
Yeah, he was already using GDB, so that was
Okay.
Yeah.
My fuck, I don't know what was up with those offsets. I think I had the wrong libc or something.
So originally we gave you the wrong libc, but then I sent you another link. But maybe
Oh.
I know, I downloaded the second one too. Maybe I must have. I don't know.
Okay, that's strange. Yeah, I'm sorry about the technical issues with the challenge. We realized 10 minutes before the episode that it wasn't running on the server, and it's some super weird stuff with if first we usually we run it with signet-d, and that didn't work because then it didn't get this eperm error when you tried opening the fd0 proc self fd0. And then we tried it with socat, same thing. And then we tried it as a suid binary, and that was the same thing. And then we just made it just normal binary, and then it worked. So it's super strange. But yeah, so sorry about that. But well played, everyone, and congratulations, Niklas.
Congratulations.
Yes, congrats.
So yeah, any sorry, Niklas.
Was this the longest episode yet?
No, but I think it's the second longest episode. Yeah.
Man, I was so confused in the beginning. Because I had so much. I had a payload that would give me RIP control, EIP control, but I didn't know why, and I thought it was just a stack buffer overflow, but it was just super lucky.
Yeah, it's. You were pretty quick with finding. Three of you were very quick with finding the issue, and then there was this thing about getting the leak. Jazzy was really quick with getting that going initially.
Yeah, no.
So.
But then I was overwriting.
That was a fun binary.
Yeah, but then I was overwriting the variable, and I was like, why the fuck is it not overwriting everything? Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Do you have any Bob? Some questions for our participants? Or?
I would love everyone to rate it on the CTF scale of 100 points to 500, with 100 being the easiest.
Who's starting?
Okay.
Niklas?
So for me, it would be probably around like 150 to 200.
Yeah,
Perfect.
250.
Yeah, something around 200. Agreed.
Cool.
Okay, that's the sweet spot. I like that.
Yeah. And then we need to figure out how we host this for the other.
Yeah, it would have been more fun with the remote server, but then it would be even harder for me at least.
Yeah, no, I mean we need to look into that, but we will be hosting this so everyone can try it. We just need to figure out the details.
Yeah, no. So we were just able to read the flag file like directly in the start.
Sorry, what?
I know.
Yeah, so that the permissions are messed up. You can read the flag file without exploiting the challenge.
Yeah, no.
I needed to change that. Yeah, I was thinking like, okay, if I just change all of these permissions while they're playing, no one will notice, and they will just assume they can't read this file, so it will all be fine.
I mean, I was able to read in the start, but then I'm like, oh, I can't submit the flag because the flag submitter was reading the config file, and config file had different permissions.
Yeah, yeah, I messed that up as well. So, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I was like, this is the flag, but I don't think this is the right way to get it. Like,
no,
at the start.
That's correct. So, yeah, any other comments or so?
Do you know why my remote thing didn't work? I was very confused.
I mean, I would assume it was something about the offsets, but more detail than that, we don't really know. I think.
Okay.
Because you also had it locally.
Offset.
Yeah.
I don't know what was up. Either I had the wrong libc or I loaded the wrong one into IDA.
Yeah, it's a bit strange. But both mightymo and Niklas had a working local exploit like. It was like half an hour ago, or even.
Yeah, I think Mo had it before me.
Yeah, exactly. Mo had it before. That was when I was, I said to all of you. Well, I broadcasted like it's the arguments for SCP. That was when he was trying to upload it to the server, basically. But then you caught up, Niklas. So it was really,
neck and neck.
Yeah,
sure.
really entertaining there.
Also, I changed the password, by the way. Because my copy and paste was all over the place, as you might have noticed in the IDA sessions.
Yeah. Well, so with that, we will be wrapping up this episode. So I just want to remind everyone watching about a few things. We will be releasing the community challenge tomorrow at the same time as the episode started. So at 2 p.m. UTC. So solve that one. And submit to get a chance to participate in the next episode. We will have this Seesaw Pony Racing franchise event where Jordan and Rusty will be
User disconnected from your channel.
running. They will be running as part of the Seesaw finals. They will be running like a head-to-head ponyable knockout tournament, which will be streamed here on the Pony Racing channel as well. And then we will have a normal episode in about a month, and hopefully we will be able to do an on-site final. Sorry, not final, but an on-site episode at CCC at the end of the year. So if any of you have any kind of like contacts or resources that would make it easier for that to happen, please get in touch with me. It worked fairly well when we did it at the CCC camp earlier this year. That was super fun with having all the participants like actually sitting next to each other and competing. So yeah, it would be cool to do something similar at CCC. But with that, I would just like to thanks to all of our participants for joining. It was very fun to have you here.
Thank
you guys.
And thanks, Paul,
done.
For a great challenge and co-commentating.
Sure, play tasteless CTF.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, it's running right now.
Do that. And with that, thanks everyone. Have a nice continued weekend. Goodbye.
See you.
So,
Bye bye.